Welcome everyone. Welcome back to Lovely Lavender Wishes. It's Renee. I hope you're having a very blessed day today. And so today, it's a kind of a dreary, cold day. A cold front has come into Texas, and it has cooled off the weather tremendously. So I'm in long sleeves and jeans and everything. Wow, yay, I can pull out my fall stuff. So I'm still in the fall mood. I just got back from traveling a little. We're going to go back out again. But I have a couple days here, so I wanted to do some journaling. So today I'm going to be in Proverbs chapter 28, verse 20. It says, "A faithful man will abound with blessings." I love that word abound, y'all. But whoever hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. And I know a lot of like financial gurus, kind of like Dave Ramsey or whatever, they point out this verse saying that there's like no get rich quick thing out there. It's slow and steady wins the race if you want to become rich. And, they'll point to this one talking about money a lot. But I'm really focusing on the first part of this verse. It says, "A faithful man will abound with blessings." It's all about being faithful, y'all. And I've noticed in my life, when I turned my life over to Christ years and years ago, I feel like my life changed. Well, I know my life changed, but I think I notice my blessings more. I think Jesus kind of points them out to me more or makes me more aware of them. I also talk to a lot of my friends, and sometimes we'll comment and say, I don't know how anyone can live in this life without having Jesus as their Lord, because I know for a fact that I sleep more peacefully. I can get through issues with more peace and comfort. And I just don't know how I would get through this life without having Christ as my foundation, essentially. And we know that in this life, we're going to have sorrows and tribulations and problems. Because I think it was Ray Comfort that wrote it in his book years ago. And I'm paraphrasing this, y'all. But he said something like, you don't become a Christian to have a peaceful, good life. Because we all know that even as Christians, we're going to go through hardships. We're going to go through crap. I mean, this world is full of it. But he gives us the grace and the peace and the comfort that we need to get through all that. And so that's kind of what I'm focusing on here. And when we're faithful, I think we abound in a variety of blessings. Whether I know we're still going through hardships in life and all that, but I still feel like I'm so tremendously blessed. And I think that maybe God opens my eyes to those blessings a little bit more as a Christian, or he makes me more aware of them. And that's kind of what I'm focusing on this season, is the blessings around me. Because this year, or the last couple years for all of us, I know have been really tough. And but through it all, we still have so many tremendous blessings. And I'm just so thankful for that. So I'm still in my fall mood, and, Thanksgiving's over, but I'm still in my thankful, grateful mood. And as I was looking through my napkins, y'all, I found this cute little napkin. Look at this. It says "Harvest of Blessings." I love the background because this is so my style, y'all. Just like the antique-y, grungy kind of look. And it says here, "A faithful man shall abound with blessings," Proverbs 28:20. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to use it for our page. So let's get crafting. I'm going to pull up my sleeves here because I know I'll get messy. I'm going to be using one of Tim Holtz's stencils here. And look, it's almost like the same kind of stencil. It's in this background. And this was in a 3-pack. Set number 2, mini stencil, set 2. It comes with like this time stencil, the numbers, and then this one. So that's where I'm getting these from. You can get them from Stampers Anonymous. And I'm assuming that's where I got this one from, stampersanonymous.com. So I have this napkin. If you don't have a napkin, you can use any kind of image that you want. If you have an image of your family, you can put a picture of your family here, or whatever image you have. If you have any kind of like Thanksgiving type or pumpkin images or anything, use it, or use whatever Thanksgiving napkin maybe that you collected over the holidays. I'm hoping all of you have taken my advice, and whenever you're out at parties, if you see any really cool napkins, snatch one or two, put them in your purse and bring them home so you can use them for Bible journaling. That's where I get all my napkins from. Well, that and some people have asked me where I've gotten napkins from. I am in a couple Facebook groups where they're called napkin exchange groups or napkin trade groups. So you can just Google napkin exchange or free napkin trades or whatever. And as you collect napkins, there's some trading groups that you can trade online through the mail, and you just mail them. They'll pick 6 of your napkins, you pick 6 of theirs or whatever number it is, and you just mail through the mail and you exchange napkins. So that's a way I can get a variety of napkins. If I got a package of napkins and I only want to use a couple out of that package, I'll trade the rest. There's other sites that you can go on that you can actually buy napkins off of, like maybe 50 cents to $1 per napkin. You can do that as well. But I've got so many napkins, y'all, that I try to either just trade or exchange. I don't need to be buying anything else. That is my goal. That's been my goal for the last couple of years, though I'm not sticking to it too well. I'm trying. I did really well this year, y'all, though. I really did well this year. I barely bought anything new this year. So yay for me. So anyways, I did prep my 2 pages. And since it has this background, I am going to... This is going to get gessoed just right here. And there's my image right there. Super easy. But I want to kind of do the background. So I'm going to do top and bottom here with this stencil. So actually, I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to use my tea dye and then maybe some ground espresso or some frayed burlap. Let's see how dark this gets, or light, or whatever. We shall see. I'm going to have some dark and light spots probably. Let's see. Yeah, see? So it's a little dark and light in some spots. So there's my tea dye. And then I'm going to grab this frayed burlap. I'm going to try to do this with one hand and try to hold this. There we go. And I'm going to get some different colors in here. Because as y'all know, I like to add different colors. See, as you can see the different coloring you get. I like doing that. Now let's like shift this over a little, because it does give you a little bit of dimension to your stencils. And since I had some of that burlap on my brush here, and now I'm mixing it a little bit with this tea dye, I'm already getting a little different color there. So see, I'm getting some dark spots, some light spots. Now let's see if that'll cover. Perfect, look at that. Now I'm just gonna do some down here. Easy peasy, super easy. We like that. I like, sometimes just some easy pages to do. But I like to do layering, and y'all know that. So I'll do a little bit of both. Let's put some dark spots. There we go. I like some dark, some light, some different things. There we go. And let's like bring this back over here. But I hope you all had a very blessed Thanksgiving with family or friends, or just maybe by yourself. Sometimes those are the best holidays, where you just have some quiet time to yourself. Let me grab some paper towel. I'm just gonna clean that off just a tad. Now, y'all know I like to kind of carry things over to both sides. So I'm going to have it come down here and out here. Have some come down here a little bit more too. And let's do a little bit over here. I just love stenciling. It's just so easy to get something on a page. Let's put some up here too. And then I'll go back with some different colors. Let's add some of the darker colors. Oh, love that. Love how that comes. So now I'm going to see if I can rematch this. Let's see, it was right about there. There we go. I'm going to do some darker spots. And let's do some darker spots here. we go. I know I didn't match it up perfectly, but that's okay. Let's do some here. And I'm gonna have this come down just a tad right here. Okay. There we go, easy peasy. Okay. I'm trying to think what I would want to do next. I'm gonna spray this just a tad and wipe this, like dab it off a little bit, get some of this ink off, because when I go back in with my texture paste, which I'm going to be using some light and fluffy texture paste, it might mix with some of this ink on here, so I just want to clean that off a little bit. Okay, we'll move that to the side. Okay, so to match this, look at that, look at how well that matches. Woo, love it. Okay, this has got some script in it, and so this is like one of the little script stamps I got. I think I got this one from AliExpress. Did I get this one from AliExpress? I think I got this from AliExpress, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken though, but I'm pretty sure I got this one from AliExpress. So I'm going to take this ground espresso, and I'm just going to use this little part of the stamp, whatever this is, stamp. I'm going to use some ground espresso, and we are going to just, oh yeah, just in some spots. Put some stamping in. Carry it over. And you don't have to press the whole thing either. You can just press like a little like area if you want. Just to get the effect that there's some script going on. Okay, easy as that. Just a couple little swipes of something and look at your page already. I love that, how it doesn't take much. Okay, let's hit this with the dryer just really quick with a heating tool. The dryer, the heating tool, whatever this thing's called. Y'all know, I'm so bad with technical terms. I just call everything like a whatamajig, thingamabob, or what's it, whatever this stuff is. It kind of reminds me of, what was that song in, I think Little Mermaid, where she sang about all the things, and it was like, this is a what's a majigger, or thingamabob, or, you know. That's my vocabulary, that's my language. That's how I speak. Okay, and look at that. So we are going to, I think I'm gonna have to cut this down a tad though, because I have to jam it in this crease right here. So I am just going to trim it down just slightly. And let's see if that'll fit better. Yeah, that'll fit better. Okay, so I'm gonna take my gesso. Let's move all these right now over there. Okay, I'm gonna take my gesso and my brush here. I have some water. So I'm gonna grab some of this gesso. You can use glue or whatever you got. And I am just gonna start from one side, and it's going over this ink. Now this ink will react with this water because it is distress ink, so it reacts with water. So be careful that you don't smear all your ink. But I don't mind if I smear whatever's going to be under the napkin because you're not going to see it anyway. So, and I usually work from one side. See how that's going to smear, but that's okay because it's under the napkin and you're not even going to see it really. And I always like to work, like I said, from one side and work to the other. It's an easy way so you don't get as many crinkles or what have you in your napkin. It's just easier to kind of fold it over as you go. And as you see, I just slop it on. There's, you don't have to be too neat about it. I'm just gonna pat that down. And just fold all that over. Let's get some under there. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is go over the top of this, especially the edges. But now when you get up here to your, I'm gonna do this part quick right here. When you get up by your ink, you want to be careful because you don't want to smear your ink because, like I said, that will react with this water. So I'm gonna try to be very careful as I go along the edge here and just barely get it over the edge of the napkin because I don't want to smear all that ink. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing up here. This is a good way to seal down the napkin. And then I'm gonna do the same thing down that side here. You have to be a little gentle with your napkin, but you don't have to be like super, super gentle. They're pretty resilient. I've torn many a napkin, and now I'm just gonna kind of go in just some areas. I'm gonna try to get over most of this just to kind of seal it down. And I don't mind all the little crinkles and wrinkles because that kind of gives it a little character. Plus it makes it look more antique-y and vintagey and rustic, kind of like the background, crinkly like the background. If that makes any sense. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure it's not sticking. Okay. And then get your brush right into water, especially if you're using any kind of gesso or paste, because it will stick to your brush. Okay, so before we can do anything else, we need to dry this. So let's get this completely dry. And it doesn't take that long to dry. Flip it over and dry the back too. That helps you dry. You can see where the wet areas are in the back. If you flip it over, dry the back, that can dry it from another angle as well. And then I flip it over, flip it over and do the front again, and I just kind of flip back and forth. It also helps if you hold it up like this so the air can kind of go through the page versus having it down. This helps it dry a little bit faster as well. Now, if you wanted to smooth it out, you can take a crafting iron and iron over the top of the page once it's all dry, if you want to do that as well. I like the crinkles and wrinkles, and I like this. I want it to be kind of looking like it's kind of like cracked, because it just matches the napkin and my stencil. So. One more wipe here. That part's a little wet right there. Wet part. And then one more swipe this way. Right there. Come on. Yep, it's pretty dry. Pretty dry at this point. Yep. Okay. Okay, so I also had this. These were some rub-on transfers that I got from Crafter Square, which means it's from the dollar store, y'all. Except, I went to the dollar store the other day and it's not $1 anymore, y'all. It is, well, $1.25. So apparently inflation. Let me grab my scissors. So it's called inflation, y'all. So now it's not the dollar store anymore, at least ours. It's the $1.25 store, apparently. So I really like this little image right here, these little leaves. And I might cut out a few more leaves too. Let's see. I'll save this one for something. But I really liked this and I wanted to maybe have that come over, I think. I was gonna do some paste too. So I'm trying to think if I wanna do this first or the paste first, but this might be hard to rub on over paste. So let's do this first. Okay, so this comes with a backing. These rub-on transfers, I love these. If you've never used them before, they come out with a backing like that. Take the backing off and you put the dull side down, shiny side up, and place it where you want it. I think I'm gonna have it kind of be like right there. And then you throw out the backing, and then you just take a burnisher. I have this little plastic one, but usually these come with like a little popsicle stick or something in it, and you just rub over the top. That's why they're called rub-on transfers. And you can even do it with your fingernails or back of the scissors or whatever you have. I mean, you don't need a special tool or anything. I mean, just anything to rub it. And they should come off pretty easily. I've had some, you've all seen me, I've had some in my stash that I've had for years and years and years, and some of them don't rub off as easily because they're probably permanently stuck to the page. But you can just cut them out and glue them down and, use them as like just, like a shiny sticker. Or you can try to rub them off. I've done a few things. I've jerry-rigged a few things, some rub off, some don't. I mean, you just got to kind of fool with it. It just depends how much you want to work with it. You all know me. I'm going to use what I have no matter what. So I will figure out a way to use it. I might just cut it out and use it as a sticker and just glue it down if it doesn't rub off. But this one should, because I just got this not too long ago. But it might not stick to this napkin as well. So we'll see what happens here. And as you peel it off, if you see any pieces that don't come off, then you just go back down and rub it again. And there we go. Look at that. And it's on. Once it's there, it's on. Ooh, I love that. Just another layer. So let's see. We've got this little leaf. We can maybe put that little leaf there. Might as well. So we'll put this one like right here. Might as well use what we have. There we go. And I have this one. Let's see. Where'd my scissors go? Like, man, I just had them. I'll carry that onto this page. Let me see. Maybe have that kind of frame. Let's do it that way. We'll have that framing the page right there. Can y'all see, am I in camera? Make sure I'm not out of camera for y'all. I've been doing that a lot lately. I just get so into what I'm doing and I'm not even watching the camera. Just hoping that you're all following along. And I just sit here and I talk to myself, or talk to you guys, but it's mostly to myself right now because you won't see this video yet for a few days probably by the time I upload it. And there we go. And look at that. I love these are so even see-through a little bit. I don't know if you can see that you can even see some of the stenciling through the back. So I love that. It gives it like a little transparent look as well. And I'm trying to decide, oh, I just dropped something. I'm trying to decide if we want to add anything down here. Look at that little bird. He's kind of cute. I don't know if I want to put a bird on there though. I really like that, but I don't think that would really. Maybe have that leaf coming out the bottom. And then I can use this other stuff for something else. Maybe in my fall junk journal, if I ever get to that next year. Yeah, I like that hanging down. Okay, so we're putting it there. And I think I wanted to do a little bit of texture paste to kind of tie all this in. Let's see how it goes. We can always try it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just forget about it. That little part didn't come off. Come on. And there we go. Love it. Okay, so let me move this stuff. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I have this spiced marmalade, the shabby shutters, because there's some green here, some orange, and then maybe some frayed burlap color. I don't know. We're gonna have to kind of play with this and see. Oh, I just cracked my nail. There we go. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this paste, just very little. Actually, I'm gonna put some of the spiced marmalade down first. Look how pretty that color is. I'm gonna take a little bit of this texture paste because I don't even need a lot. And I'm gonna mix it here with this spiced marmalade. Look at that orange. Love it. Okay, so there's the orange. And then, let's see, I'm gonna do a little bit of shabby shutters. Come on. A little bit of that. And again, just a little bit of texture paste. You don't need a lot, just a teeny tiny bit. Because I don't think I'm gonna put a lot on this page, so we just need a little bit. I'm trying to get all the ink here. And I'm making a mess. Here, I'll go like this. This is a palette knife. You can just scrape up all the ink. And got the green there. Okay. And then I'm gonna try this frayed burlap. And I actually might do, let's see, some of this ground espresso to get a little bit darker. There we go. And I'm gonna do a little bit more. Whoops, it's a little too much. I don't think I need that much texture paste. I mean, this texture paste goes a long way. You only need a little bit. This one I got off Amazon. It's called TCW Light and Fluffy Modeling Paste, 8 ounce by thecraftersworkshop.com. So I'm assuming you can get it from there as well. But I think I got it from Amazon. Package of 2, I think it was. Or no, my Gesso was a package of 2 from Amazon. This was just 1. And there we go. So we've got the orange, the green, and the brown. Now I got to figure out how exactly I wanted to do this. We are kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. So I'm going to do this. And I want some of the texture paste just to kind of come over certain areas. Okay, let's start at the top. It's probably easier to start at the top and work our way down. Let me see. Let's do some of this orange. I don't know what I want to do, y'all. I am putting it over the stencil very thinly. I'm gonna do some brown down here. Coming over the napkin. I'm gonna do some green going into the brown. And then I'm gonna even take some of this orange and have some of this orange going like this. No rhyme or reason, y'all. Just kind of playing with this. Okay, so there's some of the orange, the brown, the green. You can see it a little bit. It's not super bright, which I can always add more ink if I want it brighter. Actually, I might peel some of this ink off and get a little bit brighter color right there. Okay, so there we go. What do I want to do? Okay, I know I want some over here, so let's get this going. Some brown. A little bit more. Okay, let's do some down here. Let's get some green. Use this green up. Some of the orange. Okay. And I think, let's put some along this side, just coming on to this. I don't know why. I just think it needs some. And then I want some of this orange. Just like that. And then maybe some down here. Might as well use up what I have. Oops. Okay. I think that should be good. We'll dry that. There we go. So most of that was used. I just have a little bit I can just wipe off. What you want to do is wipe off your stencil as much as you can, unless you can get it to a sink right away, because once this stuff dries on your stencil, it gets kind of clumpy. So I'm trying to get a lot of it off. See, I'm making a mess here. But I'll get that to the sink as soon as I'm done here. So we'll move that. Okay, so let's just dry this real quick. Oops, actually, let me close this. And then there we go. So a harvest of blessings. A faithful man shall abound with blessings. It's all about being faithful, y'all. And this is a good way when you put things over your napkins, over it kind of, you know, when you have the rub-ons or the stencil or the texture paste and you come over, it kind of ties the whole thing in versus it's just like a square on the page. It helps tie it in a little. And y'all know me, I like doing layers, so I like doing stencils and then some stamping and then maybe some texture paste over it or some rub-on transfers. And also when you touch your page, once this all dries, when you touch the page, it gives it a little bit of texture too. The napkin gives it a texture, and then on top of that, the texture paste gives it a little bit like of a rough texture over it. I like that. I'm I guess a tactile person. I like feeling the texture of things. So that's just probably another reason why I like doing that. Okay, so what I'm really gonna do now is just let that sit for a little while. But here's the page. Here it is far away. Let me see if my camera will adjust. Oh, I think it is. I think it's working. The other day it wasn't. So here's the texture paste at the top. I'm gonna let that sit. So here's the stenciling, and then here's the stamping, and here's the rub-on transfer. And then on top of that, we even put texture paste. See, right here along the side. There's the napkin, and then close down to the bottom. And then I always like carrying it over to the other page, at least a little bit. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna grab, let's see, I'm gonna grab my brown Zig memory system pen, and I am going to highlight this verse. And you all know me, I do squiggly lines because I can't do straight lines unless I have a ruler. And the more squiggly lines, I think the prettier it is. So I do that on purpose. I do the squiggly lines on purpose. So we're in chapter 28, Proverbs 28, verse 20. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but whoever hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. So just be faithful. I think during this season, just remember your blessings. I think we all abound with blessings, even though we feel like sometimes that we don't, or we feel like we're going through whatever it is that we're going through, or we're alone or whatever. We can look around. We have so many blessings, y'all. We're breathing. We have food on our table, even if it's something little. We have a roof over our heads, no matter if we're satisfied with that roof or not. You know, like we have clothes on our back. We live in such a bountiful and plentiful country, and we're so blessed. And I think we're just so blessed. Even we're blessed to have Christ in our lives, y'all. So that is an abundance of blessings. So I hope that this season that you all remember your blessings that you have. So thank you so much for joining me. Love y'all. Have a great Christmas season, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.